Hello, people. Welcome. Hey, Linda. Lovely to see you again. Dave is connecting to audio. It's nice to see you week after week. Huh? You just can't get enough. So it's lovely to see everybody and lovely to see everybody that's joining us online. Hey, Dave. Lovely to see you. It's okay if you want to be listening and doing stuff. I'll be going through the content. Dave, I'll be seeing you tomorrow. Linda, I'll be seeing you very soon, hopefully. So today we're going to talk about how to monetize and thrive during challenging times. So I'm going to give you some keys and, of course, as always, tell you how you can move forwards with us. The good news for you, Dave, is you're already moving forwards with us. So great news for you. And we'll take it from there. Any questions you might have, put them in the chat. Anybody watching online, just put in comments and we'll come back to you later. But I'll get going, bring the slides up. In the meantime, if Linda, you just want to say hi to Dave and Dave wants to say hi to Linda over the chat, tell you where you're from, what you do. That'd be amazing, but I'll put the slides on. But you both okay? Is everybody okay? Yay. Awesome. I'll keep an eye on in case people are joining as well. But also you got Regina here if you need anything while I'm mid-flow. So it's always nice to see your lovely faces. And of course, everybody online, welcome as well. So first things first, big hello from here from everybody at Speaker Express. And I'm very quickly just going to go through the Kodak story, right? Because I think it's really important that we understand and take lessons from it. So here's the thing when it comes down to the Kodak story, right? They used to be the biggest photography company in the world. That's right, in the world. And they had anything they wanted, access, resources, and money. Now, we might not be all in that predicament. In fact, it'd be nice if we all were. But in 1975, they got their first warning that times are changing. And a guy called Steve invented a digital camera. He went to management and said, look, guys, he's an engineer. I've invented this amazing camera. We should really think about this. We should do something about this. Really think about what we could do with the camera, right? This is a digital camera. It's the way forwards. Of course, Kodak being Kodak, they do nothing. They do absolutely nothing. Hello, Ruth. They do absolutely nothing to change. Zero. Okay, we're Kodak. We've got this. 1981, Sony released the digital camera, but they didn't just invent it, they release it to the market. Warning number 2, things are changing. Your biggest competitors releasing something that can disrupt the market. What do Kodak do? They do nothing except do some research. They do the research, and guess what they told? They're told the good news is we have a decade to prepare. That's the good and the bad news. The good news is we have a decade. The bad news is it's going to take a decade. So by 1991, the whole consumer behavior, the whole market behavior is going to change. Be warned. This is coming. You cannot stop this. Do nothing. What do? They invest more money in more chemicals so they can develop pictures better, even though they were told that this is going to be a fading market, that this is going to change. They did nothing. Why? Because they thought that it doesn't affect them. So it doesn't move with the times. Then what happens is the market changes. It sweeps them by. They refuse to change. And in 2007, they try a comeback. They try a comeback on YouTube and they run a whole campaign. We've changed. We've evolved. They released their own versions of it. But by then it's too late. They were forgotten. Too many other players had entered the market. And therefore, they lost ground. And what happens then in 2012? They file for bankruptcy. And I think you can maybe find a really tiny stream of Kodak in airports where you buy disposable cameras. But basically they went from this massive brand to a very small brand. Now the reason I tell that story is because it doesn't matter how big or small you are or how successful you currently are. No one is immune to market changes. No one is immune to time. And if you're not standing out and filling that void for people, and in your cases as speakers, someone else will, and the market will move on with or without you. And right now, what's really important in these challenging times, that you truly are at the forefront of your clients' minds, you're at the forefront of your bookers' minds, and you're the forefront of people's minds, because if you're not, that space is occupied by someone else, right? And I just wanted to start with that story. It's lovely to see you all. So this is the time to speak up. This is the time to stand out. This is the time as speakers. You're all speakers. That's why you're here. And you're all speakers that generally want to enroll people into more as well. Despite the uncertainty, despite the challenging times, I'm telling you there's people out there that are spending. I'm telling you there's people out there that are buying. Fact. We've just launched this new course, which I told you about, and already I'm at capacity with my first 5. I'm likely to launch, extend it now because there's clear demand for it, and I'll tell you about that later. But people are there. There is people that are spending, if you're at the forefront of their mind, if you're answering their problem, if you're positioning yourself as that person, right? So hello to the people that just joined us. Lovely to see you. And this is actually, more importantly, the time to be the light for people. More than ever. I don't know a time. I mean, I'm clearly just over 21 years old of age. You can tell that, right? I'm a very young spring chicken. But never has there been a more important time for every single one of you on this webinar to step out there and connect and serve communities, because it's pretty messed up right now. People want and need to hear from you. So be a light bearer. Open that kind of that parachute of hope for people through the content you create, through your talks, and make sure that you're really serving people and really understanding what's keeping them up at night now, so you can connect with them and you can serve people globally, right? Here's the thing. I see, and I come across, as some of you know, because we know each other now, hundreds of speakers every year. And most speakers are what I call 50% speakers. What do I mean by 50% speakers? They're great speakers, but they're really bad on the other side of things. Getting bookings, getting out there, right? Being found for the right reasons, visibility. We've just learned, I think some of you know this, we just launched the Speaker Awards and we had over 100 applicants, right? And I can tell you that out of those 100, pretty much only 5, maybe 10 really had the other side of speaking locked down. The look, the feel, the brand. It's really worrying. And that's why a lot of speakers don't achieve what they want. It's not because they're not very good speakers. It's because they're not packaging it in the right way. That's key. And I know some of you get really frustrated with that, but that's the truth of the matter, is a lot of speakers are simply 50% speakers, i.e. great speakers, terrible on the other side, right? Give me a Y in the chat if you can relate to that. So what I'd want to hear right now in the chat as well is currently, in 1 or 2 words, what is your biggest challenge? Because obviously I want to make sure I cater to that as well. I think we're going to cover a lot of them today in this webinar. As well, I'm going to give you 3 keys to really think about how you can add that other 50% as well as being a great speaker, right? Because as you will know these days, being a great speaker just is not enough, right? And no one's doubting your expertise. That's the other thing. You're all expert. There you go. Wow, Linda, massive respect. Pow. So what are your current challenges, people? Besides, you've got respect for Linda. That is a big challenge, I must say, Dave. No daughter today, Linda? She's not joining us? She's sleeping. Oh, cool. I wish I could be sleeping. My son came in at 4 o'clock this morning and insisted he wanted to stay with us. The joys of having a 2-year-old. So let's see some of the challenges we have here. Obviously, I will tell you the challenges we deal with as well. And then we'll get going with the keys. The keys to thrive and monetize your speaking during challenging times. Getting bookings or starting looking to speak properly. Yes. Well, Dave, the good news is we're already working on that. I'm a stress pert, but my challenge is getting people to understand the importance of stress or how to deal with it. Yes, that as well. Absolutely. And a lot of this will come through what we're going to talk about today. So I think Kerry's just, hi Kerry, it's lovely to see you. I think she's just on listening mode, or she might type, but let's keep moving forward. So here's the different businesses we work with, the various types of people we help with their speaking. So service entrepreneurs, we've got massive figure turnover, marketing, branding, trainers, consultants, agencies, authors, it's all there. And they all have common problems, a bit like you guys, pretty much getting out there, getting booked, having the impact they want, getting paid, struggling with the noise, low speaking impact, they speak, nothing really happens, fluffy pitch or forgetting to pitch, and or not feeling brave enough to pitch, and of course not enough quality leads. So those are some of the key issues we find when we work with people, and I know a lot of us have crossed paths as well. So just a little bit more about me. I won't spend too much time on here, but just I'm the co-founder of Speaker Express. I've run Speaker Express over a decade. I did have a business partner. She's now moved to Australia. I write for magazines. I've literally spoken for over 10,000 hours. I've written 5 books, 2 of them bestseller, with the 6th one on its way. The 6th book is coming out maybe November, but right now it's just not a priority. And ironically, it's called How to Thrive and Monetize Your Speaking. And when I chose the name for this webinar, it's not a prelude to the book. It's just, I don't know why that came out, one of those unconscious things. I've been mentoring the Apprentice Trust for over a decade. I do have 2 podcasts. One of them is active, the Public Speaking Expert podcast, where we release a new podcast every single week. And I'm an accredited virtual speaker, which means I paid $80 to be told I can speak online. Well done, me. That was money well spent at the beginning of the pandemic. Hi, Bobby. Nice to see you. So the other things, of course, in the last 2 years is I've been recognized, and I'm very grateful for that, for some of my achievement. I was named in Yahoo Finance as the top public speaking coaches to follow. I've won awards. But the thing that really stands out for me, really means everything. I mean, they all mean something, but really means something to me, is being shortlisted for the book awards this year, the Business Book Awards, with the book How to Stand Out as a Speaker and Be More Giraffe. So it's that book here, and it's a very simple book. You can read it in 10 minutes. It's got lots of drawings, yay, to make things easier. So that's just a little bit about me. And we work across industries. That's the thing to remember. So I can work with people in tech entrepreneurs, that's top left. I can work with influencers, Kelly next to her, or Harriet or Powell there in the middle. We can work with recruiters, coaches, trainers, consultants. On the right there was Philly, who made it onto MasterChef in 2020 professionals. I helped really her with her positioning and how she'd answer questions for producers. And we've helped people on Dragon's Den. So what I'm going to show you now is 7 key steps that really will help shift and add that extra 50% for you as a speaker, for you to go out there to thrive and monetize while speaking. Someone I did this with was a guy called Ed. He already ran businesses, so it wasn't a matter of confidence. He was selling for a living. Again, wasn't a matter of confidence. For him, it was about packaging. It was about the right language. It was about the right structure. And that's what we did with him. And when he went out there and reformed himself as a speaker, he then used it to fundraise, as you can see, but also go out there and pitch his new product, Strive, to get people onto the platform, which is a tech platform in recruitment, right? So the first thing I want to remind people, the first essence, is if you knew you couldn't get rejected, what actions would you take, right? If you couldn't get rejected or you couldn't fail, what actions would you take? This is key. This is a bit of a, you're here undercover. Okay, Carrie. Really think about that, because what I want us to do as well as today is to do a bit of a mindset reboot. Because here's what I find more and more. When I speak to speakers, I'm like, why aren't you doing outreach? Why aren't you putting yourself out there? There's something in their mindset that's blocking them, right? Because if there's someone in a space that's doing that, what's the key difference here, right? The key difference is they are doing something that you're not. It can't be because there's no demand, and it can't be because what you speak about isn't interesting. And I always get really interesting answers when I ask this question. Well, I would knock on more doors. I would send more emails. I would put myself forward for bigger opportunities. So why aren't you? Right? So again, really thinking about it, why haven't you done it yet? And without beating yourself on your head, it isn't about being judgmental. What I want you to do is assess that. Why haven't you done that? Why haven't you gone for those big conferences? Why haven't you put yourself out there? Why haven't you reached out to 10 people? Is it because you might not know how? You need guidance around that? Well, we can help with that. Or is there something deeper that needs addressing? Fear of rejection, fear of failure. Again, there's ways to address that. Because remember, as I said when I talked about Kodak, if you're not moving with the forward to the forefront of people's minds, someone else is, right? So why haven't you done that yet? Something to think about. What has stopped you? And be honest with yourself. This isn't about beating yourself on the head. This is about being honest with what has stopped you, right? Is it time? Is it money? Is it the whole fact? This is what I find when I work with people. I hear I don't have the time. Well, then we need to move, either make time in your calendar or make sure it's important enough for you to create the time. I don't have the money. Well, it's an investment. So if you invest, you'll get the money, right? Or whatever it might be. Will this work for me? Will this speaking thing work for me? Well, the proof is in the pudding. Yes, it works for many other speakers, so why wouldn't it work for you? The economy, I'm telling you, in the last 2 weeks, I've seen a spike in sales. So again, is the economy, yes, things are challenging, things are uncertain. Let's be honest about that. But there's always ways to rework things. So it can't just be the economy. That's a factor, all right? Unless you're so high figure with your speaking fee or as a speaker or your sales, that might be a factor, but it can't just be the economy. Because when I ran a coaching business, right? When I ran a coaching business years ago, I don't run a coaching business anymore. I did better during 2008 recession than I did the year before that. So actually in downtones, people can spend, but it's all about the other 50%. It's all about the positioning and making sure in your forefront of people's mind. Is there a confidence issue? Do you need to look at your confidence? Is there, have you got into this bubble that you think I'm okay, or you a bit scared to step up? Are you scared to sell? I mean, I use this loosely. So we all have to do a confidence shower, right? We all have to check in on our confidence, because especially when we're tested and things are beyond our control, our confidence takes a knock, whether we like it or not. I know there are a lot of confident speakers coming out of the pandemic lost their confidence because of a variety of reasons. So let's be honest with ourselves. Again, none of this is to beat ourselves over the head. This is just to go, okay, what's been stopping me? Why haven't I done what I need to do? And then we can formulate it forwards. Is it rejection, right? Maybe you're really comfortable in a circle. You want to go up a level, but what if I get rejected, right? How's that going to affect me? Underestimating your value is another thing I find people, they just don't value their story, their content. These are key things that are really stopping people from going out there and truly making an impact. So time could be a factor from getting you out there, from you monetizing your speaking game. It could be the money aspect. Maybe you're not sure if it works for you, so you're not giving it attention. It could be the economy, but as we know, that's a one factor, and that means tweaking things. Is it a matter of confidence that's stopping you from getting out there? Is it the fear of rejection, or is it you're just not underestimating what you're bringing to the table? That you can have the impact, that you can get booked, that people will pay for your time and your expertise. Some of this was similar for is a guy called Juan. Some of you heard me speak about him. He came to us from the military, so very confident to command 4,000 troops, not so confident to get on stage. Also very confident to speak like a soldier, not so confident in being vulnerability. So when we rejigged his workings, we gave him a signature talk, and we rejigged his whole ability, A, to deal with rejection because he was putting himself out there, but also just to soften himself, just to be that slight vulnerability, to open up and create content that people wanted to see. Right? And he had to believe in his message. He had to believe in what he had to say mattered. And once he did that, it's when things opened up. He started to get booked to paid. He started to do speaking to sell as well. And then because of his visibility, because of his speaking, he then got the job as the Steel Warriors Community Project Manager, which is where they take knives.
Hello, there's a doctor from High Grove.
1 second.
Thanks for bringing the urine sample in.
There you go. There you go. Some people forget to mute themselves. And then actually what that project is a great project, because what they do is they take the knives that they confiscate from the streets and they melt them and create gym equipment. And he's in charge of that. So which is completely in line with his passion. So the second one is consistency of visibility. And you've heard me talk about this again and again, right? It's so important to stay in the forefront of your booker's mind, of your client's mind. And it is about, by the way, you've got to understand that right now you need to churn out content continuously, right? Not in an overwhelming way, but you need to create content that's consistently showing that you understand the problem, that you could solve the problem. And you have to have different types of posts and different types of content to do that as well. But if you don't stay in people's mind's eye, then they forget you. And it's not because they're mean or because you're terrible. It's because someone else is staying in their mind's eye. Okay, this is key. So really, again, go back to that question is like, what could I do more of to stay in my client's mind's eye, right? Oh, there's a little weird two dots there. But again, here's what a lot of speakers are doing, but it doesn't work. You're not looking at the data. Where am I putting my time to get mass results? Or am I spending my time on the little things that are draining and tiring and not getting results? An example is podcasts. So many people launch podcasts. Nothing wrong with podcasts. I have two. One's active, right? I record every Monday religiously, like pow. But unless it's elevating your profile, unless it is getting you clients, unless it's creating strategic partnerships, it is a waste of time, right? social media postings that aren't effective. So you might be posting, but are they the right posts? Are they bringing in question, traction? I can hand on heart say that the reason Dave is here is because of a lot of what I post, right? And you followed me for a while and we connected, we had a chat, and here he is, right? Doesn't mean it's immediate. So you need to let go of things happening. Oh my God, I put that post out, they contact me, they're now a client. Is about consistency of visibility, consistency of output. But a lot of people I notice, they pull these posts out, which are nice and get likes. And that includes on LinkedIn, by the way, but they're not the right posts, right? They're just not selling you. They're not promoting you. They're not positioning you. That's what you really need to think of when posting on social media. And it's not targeted enough, right? So therefore, I might read one of Linda's posts. Okay, that's nice. Versus going, ooh, let me pull her in. Let me book her. Oh, I really need what she's offering. I'm not saying that's the case. I just use an example, Linda, right? Yeah. And the other thing is too many channels, right? Too many channels. We've doubled down, right? I am only on LinkedIn. I have very little visibility on Facebook. That's a choice, right? I'm off Instagram because they're scumbags. That's another conversation to have. And I sometimes do TikTok. But I've actually pulled away from TikTok. Why? Because actually, while it's nice, it's not benefiting me, right? Look at the data. So I've done X amount. I get 200 to 500. Is it lead? Am I getting comments? Not really. Am I getting inquiries? Not really. And I don't mind doing TikTok, but right now it's just not where I want to spend my time. Do you see what I mean? So all I do now is LinkedIn. Twitter has grown organically, interestingly enough, with very little output. So on that point, I just have to say a big contract for New Scotland Yard. Woo-hoo! There you are. So you're targeting it right. That's my point. And lack of relationships. If you want to get booked, people, you've got to build relationships, right? So a lot of speakers, what they get really, really, really wrong is this. Speakers that don't get booked, or speakers mismanage their time because they're not deep diving on the data. They're doing things like podcasts, which aren't bringing in attention, raising their profile. Social media posts that aren't effective. They're the wrong posts. They're on too many channels and they lack building relationships. And these are the key things that drain speakers. This is why a lot of people are near burnout. They're stressed out. They're anxious and they're frustrated with the industry because they're doing the wrong things with the right intention, let me say, but they are doing the wrong things. And they're too general. You're too vanilla. You're not giraffe, right? You need to be more giraffe if you want to get booked and get paid and thrive during these times, yeah? Key number 3 is you got to simplify the model. You got to simplify the model. Again, too many speakers complicate the model. Too many moving pieces, too many factors. Send the stress ones to me. Absolutely, I will, right? Simplify the model, right? I have one signature talk. This is what I deliver. I know exactly to get focused, where to get booked, and I know I'm the go-to stressed expert, right? I am that. That's me. Too many. Oh, I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. I can speak about this. Oh, I can also do this. Too much, which means the messaging, go back to content, is too wide. Oh, are you this or are you this? I don't get it, right? Keep it simple. Again, I'm going to talk about the program we've just launched is literally about this, which is just about solid positioning, having a great talk that gets you sales, gets you leads. Keep it simple. It's better for the mind. Can you see I care about this stuff? Can you see? I care a lot. And the other thing is about producing the correct content, which is what we've just talked about as well. And having the right toolkit to market yourself, which I'll deep dive in a little bit. But this is key to you truly thriving and monetizing during these times, because people are relentless. They're unforgiving if the above is too complicated. If there's any uncertainty in the decision of booking you, I won't book you. People won't book you because someone else has got it solid, right? Again, so very similar when we work with John, creative agency, big creative agency, overcomplicated everything, right? Just kept on doing pretty much what didn't really work, and was surprised when surprised when he didn't get leads, or the talks didn't land, or he didn't get the effect he wanted. So again, we simplified it. One talk that, if there's 2 of them, that delivered really, really slick, simple positioning, the correct positioning, and then he got booked in the right places, which allowed him to do the talk and get leads in the right way. When you simplify things, it's easy to accelerate. But if it's very complicated, then it's very hard to accelerate things because there's too many moving parts, right? So just to quickly remind you what speakers are doing that doesn't work, right? And I want to make sure that we can correct that as well as having a complicated business model. So I'm just going to quickly talk about how to move forwards with us, and then we'll carry on with the other 4 keys, right? So we've just launched, on that note, everything you talked about. Make sure you're efficient, make sure that you're simplified, make sure you go out there and have mass impact when you speak. We've just launched the Efficiency Speaking and Selling Program, which Dave has joined us. So I'm excited to start the journey with him. Basically, what we do is it's very simple. We will give you a structure that converts every time you speak. We make sure that you're booked in the right places so people can buy from you. And of course, you have support via drop-in sessions on Zoom. You have support via WhatsApp. And of course, you pay a little upfront and then you pay the rest on results or over 6 months. So we've made it very easy and accessible so you can get this. And I just want to say this is a individual program with group support. Okay, it's not a group training program. And of course, we've got a whole G drive full of scripts, full of templates, full of videos of how to do things. Because my role in this is to make sure you get booked a lot. And therefore, you make around £5,000 within 90 days through the support we give you. It is designed to sell, by the way. It's designed to do a talk and sell, but it works if you want to get paid to speak as well. So the first step we do is you and me do a one-to-one on Signature Talk. We sit down, we rework your Signature Talk. The second thing we do is we do a where to speak session. So I have a whole document where you really think about how we get targeted, and then we talk about how to approach them, whether we do a DM campaign, whether we do an outreach via the website, via LinkedIn. We talk all about that as well. And then you go, you deliver your talk, you deliver, get lots of leads, you make the money, and then you pay me the rest of the fee. How's that? Fair enough? Yes, is the answer. Good. Right. So, of course, this for you have something to say and a product to sell. You want more sales when you speak. You want to be the go-to expert in your space. So I know, Linda, you're selling your mind, your expertise, so it still works for you. And of course, if you want to have massive impact in your industry, this works. Someone, again, that we did this with was Sarah. She came to us. She's an investor. So for her, is about simplifying things, having a talk that enrolled people to work with her. She also needed to know where to get booked, which we looked at, and she went out and she did it. And as a result, she grew her investment business. She got people on board who put money into her business, her investment business. She's a paid speaker. She got Tedx's because of everything that we talked about and we showed her as well. So that's one thing. So leave a talk ready to go is what you'll get. We'll do that within 90 minutes because you already have things. It's just about cleaning it up and making sure it enrolls people to buy from you. And of course, we do a whole session on how to and where to get booked. Because again, the 50% speaker I talk about, they become great speakers, but they don't understand where to go and get booked. How do you do it? That's what we're going to show you how to do as well. And I'm considering, by the way, giving you a session with Regina, who's on this call, who will show you how to use LinkedIn strategically. So that's not in there yet. Wait for that. So you pay a little on front and the rest on results. So this is everything you get, including access to, and I'll also get access to the hub as well, which I know I need to give you, Dave, and some of the other people. So the cost for that is £360, right? That's your cost. And we'll put a link in the chat now, and Regina will send it to you. So it's £360, and then you've got 90 days to go and through the work we're doing and monetize it, get paid. If you make a certain amount of money, you pay me the rest of the fee. Good stuff. You carry on the program. You don't have to leave. And then if you don't, you've got 3 months before the next payment comes out, and then 3 months before the next payment comes out, and it's 3 payments of £360. So if you're VAT registered, right, you can claim the VAT back, so it's £900, yeah. But if you're not, well, I'd still have to pay the VAT. So it's £1,080 in total, paid over 6 months. If you haven't made the money by then, I don't know what to say. I'll keep working with you beyond that. But that's the idea. So you pay a little bit up front, that's your skin in the game, and we go from there. So what Regina's just pasted in there is a Google Drive. You can reread that. You can book a slot with me. So have a conversation with me first if you want to ask me anything, and let's move forwards together. Let's do this. My role is to get you as booked as possible. And so the way it works is we do the one-to-ones, and then you have group support, drop-in sessions, right? But it's not a group. You work at your own pace. And I'm there to support you throughout. There are any questions you might have as well. And I'm always adding videos. Like, how do you have a consultation call? For a lot of people, that's not natural. So I'm going to record a video on that as well. Deal? Cool. So you can either scan the QR code or you can grab the link from Regina, but I'm sure we'll send it to you as well. Let's do it. You know, I've made it low entry, high results. Let's make this happen. Okay. Cool. Let's carry on. By the way, any questions about that at all? Are we good? Just grab the link and you can always book a call. That's why I want you to book a call and have a call, unless you're ready to go. And then we can go from there. I'll let the questions come in a second. So the fourth key. This is what we're going to show you how to do. Proactive outreach. Remember I said a lot of people make the mistakes. Now imagine this. And I use this, of course, as an example. So imagine I go up to Linda and I go, hey, Linda, how are you doing? I hear you talk about psychopaths. Yes, great. That's pretty awesome. Would you like to go upstairs with me? I think she'd knock me out, right? Or at least I hope she would. That's how a lot of speakers build relationships. Hi, I speak about this. Do you want to book me? Here's my fees. And I think I've seen that a lot. For example, this week, some guy sends me a message on LinkedIn. He then finds my email and goes, here's my one pager. Where can you book me? I'm like, I don't know you. I don't know who you are. I don't know what you do. And you might go, oh my God, that's really bad conduct. But that's what a lot of speakers do, right? I'm just an example because we're so passionate about what we do. We love what we do so much that we just think, hey, you should be lucky to have me, right? I'm so good. You should book me. I get that. I have a lot of empathy for that. But it doesn't work, right? So we're going to show all of you how you build those relationships, how you approach. For example, how you message an event organizer is very different from how you message an HR person who might book you. Very different approach, right? So understanding that is key. That's what we do. This is what I've been advised to do previously. Really? Go in for the kill, Dave? Like that? Oof. The world's changed. If you go like someone with LinkedIn, they just won't respond. Unless they're used to that kind of thing. Do you see what I mean? So that might explain it. You might not have had a response. Relationships, right? The speaking industry is built on relationship. If I've got Dave, for example, and I've got another guy that I know really well, they might speak about the same things, but the other guy has sent me really nice messages and treated me really nicely. Who do you think I'm likely to go with? Right? If you're a name, sure. If you're Gary V, of course you can go, hey, I'd love to speak on your stage. Here's my fee. Different. But even then, it's still about relationships, right? So keep that in mind. And the other thing, remember I said, keep it simple. Go in with one talk, one thing. Listen, I can speak about this. I'd love to discuss speaking your event. If you go, oh, I can speak about this and this and this, maybe this, also I cover this, it's too much. Yeah, simplify. Keep it simple. You can always offer other talks when you're in a conversation, right? Oh, could you talk about this? Yes. Oh, I also talk about this. But get to the conversation first, right? That's me going, Linda, we can go to Greece, Turkey. We could go to the US. But, you know, which one do you want to go? Well, I just kind of met you. Like, can we not talk about holidays yet? Do you see what I mean? So, yes, and I won't pick on you anymore, Linda, I promise. After all, I know what you do. You might be like, hey, what's he doing? Right? So, right, getting booked is about relationships. Please remember that. A big part of it. A lot of my bookings comes from relationships. And if I'm going to spend £5,000 with someone, or they're going to spend, they want to know that you're good for it, you're trustworthy, and that comes from the conversations and the relationships. Yeah, and we help you build all of that as well. We good? We good, people? Yeah, awesome. Thumbs up. So next one. It's okay to stop, take stock, and just look at what isn't working. Right? So clearly, I'm not saying Dave was doing something, not Dave. He was instructed. It's not his fault to do something that isn't working. We need to change that. You know, what are you doing right now that isn't bringing results? So that dials back a little bit to what speakers, but you need to look at it for yourself, right? What isn't working? This is key. Because if we know what's not working, we can stop doing it, or we can tweak it, or we can improve it, right? This is, believe it or not, the time to invest in yourself. This is the time to do something, to get better results, to improve. Because during uncertainty, if you can prevail through uncertainty, when there's certainty, you become the market leader. You become that person because you were present, because you were there for people. And this is the time to do it, right? So what's really important is standing out from the rest. Don't be journalistic. Don't sound like everyone else. Don't turn out the same content. Of course, the information you're saying, probably other people, but the way you say it. How can you be more giraffe, right? That's what we want you to stand out. Where are you? Where's my giraffe when I want her? Where's she gone? She's normally sat right here. I think she's run away. My giraffe has run away. No, I'm giraffeless. Anyway, stand out and be more giraffe. How can you do it differently? So is it time, right, to refresh your whole speaker approach, the images you use? Is it time for a photo shoot because you're using old ones? Is the video, or do we need to make a video? Yeah? Do you have a video? Bio. Does your bio sell you? A speaker bio is very different from a website bio because it's designed to show the booker what's in it for them. And a lot of people write bios because it makes them feel good. But it's about, does it get you booking? Do you have a website? Speaker specific website. Again, is it selling you? And do you have a one pager that has all your information that you send out and they can see it and they can print it and take it to the decision maker and go, boom, let's book Dave. Boom, let's book Olu. Boom, let's book Linda. Yeah, let's book Ruth. Yep, time for a refresh. And I think this is the last one. Or is there one more? No, there's one more after this. You got to start saying yes to any stage time. Right? And here's what I want to say. Because things have shifted in the current market, it is about getting creative with how you get a commercial return. I remember someone sent me a message 2 weeks ago. She's clearly struggling financially. And she sends me a message that says, Elliot, can you show me where I can get keynotes because I need to make money quickly? And I'm like, it doesn't quite work that way. Again, unless you're massively established. What I did say to her is learn to sell from the stage. So yes, we can get you speaking opportunities, but you've got to learn to sell as well, because actually no one really knows you. You might be an expert in your field, so therefore people will be reluctant to pay you, right? And that's the truth. That's not being me negative or, downplaying her. Surprise, surprise, didn't hear back from her. And surprise, surprise, she hasn't got booked. You can get creative on how you get a commercial return. So, of course, you can get testimonials. You can get footage, right? So there's some of the ways that you can get a commercial return. You can say that this time next year, when you do have the budget, I would like first refusal. You can talk about, can I sell? Of course. Well, you're not paying me, therefore can I sell? So these are some of the ways to get creative. Okay, you might not be able to do this, but can you commit to buying 1,000 of my books? Certain ways you can think about it creatively to be commercial and get a return as well. Right? And someone who got creative, this is a while back, is Chamonix. And Chamonix used the signature talk that we teach you through the program, but she used that and created a masterclass. And from a masterclass, she delivered it as a masterclass. It was 90 minutes long. Obviously, she had, as you can see, 86 registrations, 37 showed up. And then she delivered it as a masterclass, which is still a talk, but framed as a masterclass. And then what she cleverly did is she invited people to apply, but she didn't tell them the price. So she did an invitation process. And I was like, no, you should tell the price. She's like, no, I don't think so. So we had one of those back and forwards. I was like, tell the price. She's like, no, I don't want to. I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to push you where you want to go. So don't. And then this is the result she got. So when things are positioned right and you do the right kind of talk and you think in a different way how you commercialize your speaking, you can get the results. And she made almost 20K in a weekend, because she repositioned her talk to be a masterclass. And I go, no, I know a lot of you know this, but you might not thinking like this. Maybe I can do a masterclass. And in the masterclass, obviously they didn't pay for it, but she got a lot of sales as a result. Because also the signature talk that we show you leads people to buy from you as well. And the last thing I really want you to understand before we wrap this up is you're always selling. You're always selling. Okay, please, please, please. It's not a section in the talk. It's not something that's separate. From the moment people see you, you're selling. Now, you don't have to be a douchebag, pushy, or, manipulative, you can sell with grace, you can sell respectfully, but you're always selling. Your content is selling you, right? Your videos are selling you. When you step on stage, you're selling. Even if it's a paid keynote, you're selling your thoughts, your expertise. You're selling your personal brand, you. So what I want to invite you all to do is shift away from I don't sell to understand you're always selling. Even if it's not selling a product, you're selling something. You're selling me why I should listen to you and take time to listen to you. There's a sale there, right? Because time is something none of us can get back as much as you want to. You can always make more money. So please understand that. So right now in this current environment, understanding that stage time is wealth time, understanding that you're always selling, and understanding that this is an opportunity for you to shift that paradigm and be able to stand there with strength and conviction, and therefore people will buy into you, and therefore you will grow and be the go-to expert. Then maybe, Ruth, that whole importance of stress will be conveyed more, will be expressed more, because actually understanding that you need to sell that concept might really, really help, right? As well. So please understand that. Any questions, thoughts, remarks that you might have? I'll circle back in a minute. So Janetta was someone that we did this with. For her, you see, Janetta, some of you might know her, but Janetta came over from South Africa. As she was a motivational speaker there. She's doing really, really well. She had quite a tragic story. And suddenly she had to reposition everything. She had to change from I charge thousands to being able to just get booked, get paid. And she learned to sell from the stage as well. So we had to completely repackage her. We had to change her offering. We had to change everything about how she did things, which we was able to do. So with her, I did work one-to-one on one of my top tier programs, and we restructured her whole positioning. And now she runs something called Jenny's Day in the name of her daughter. She goes out there and does lots of talks about effective parenting conversations, empowered ones. She wants to remove the taboo around suicide, all these kind of things she's really big on. And that relates to her story. It's not just something that she decided to do one day. So again, but she understood that there's a sale going on continuously, right? And that's a big shift for her as well. So what are your biggest learnings? I'd love to hear from you. So good to go over basics with the revisit. That's good to hear. So biggest learnings. Let's have one or two sentences. Be more proactive. Update into. Don't be a Kodak. Yeah, definitely don't want to be a Kodak. What else? Biggest learnings? Assuming you can talk. I mean type. Talk. Cool. So, just to remind you, I'd love to invite you all to join me on the new program. We had one cohort start, and this is literally for, I think, pretty much having got to know everyone on this call. This is for you if you have a product or service or something to say. If you want more sales, right? When you speak, you want more clients, and you're expert in your space, of course. Simplicity is key. Yeah, don't go for the juggler. There we go. That's a good learning, David. And of course you want to make impact, and you all do. That's why you're here. I have no doubt. So it's actually, we changed the name. It was called Speak to Influence. It's actually called Efficient Speaking and Selling. And it's basically, we'll work one-to-one on a structure that works, right? That converts as well. We'll show you how to get booked, which is the other 50%, how to position it. There will be Zoom drop-in sessions where I'm like, hey, Wednesday 2 to 3, here I am on Zoom, drop in. There is a WhatsApp support where people ask questions. Already people are asking questions about getting booked. And you pay a little upfront, £360. And then the aim is you already make the money within 90 days and pay me the rest. But if you don't, for accountability purposes, there's a secondary payment and a third payment. So you pay over 6 months. I think that's pretty cool. You have access to a G Drive full of scripts as well. So templates of how to write emails, how to do LinkedIn outreach campaigns. There's a script there to how to film a show reel. There's a variety of things. I'm happy to show you them if you book a call with me. I'll take you through and I'll show you everything that's on there. There's also preparation videos for the signature talk. Everything that you need is on there, and I'll keep adding, right? Because as this program progresses, I'll keep recording videos for it. So there you go. It's £360. I don't know where that came from. £360 to work with us. That's your skin in the game, and there's nothing for a few months. So look, if you're not sure, just book a call in. Let's have a conversation. See if it's right for you. If it's right for you, fantastic. If it's not right for you, that's okay. And let's go from there. So do you have any questions about, I mean, Dave, you're already on the program, so, but you can still ask a question. But Linda, Bobby, Ruth, any questions you want to ask at all? No? Brilliant, Dave. I'll see you tomorrow for your session, and thanks for coming on board. I hope you got lots of golden nuggets, and let's go from there. You can unmute yourself if you want, and it's easier to be unmuted. I'll just come out and stop sharing. See you later, Dave, my man. Where's the... Thanks, Elliot. Have a good rest of the day. Thanks, Linda. Where is the thingy? I didn't record this. Okay. Cool, Ruth. All right, guys. So let's go from there. So we will see, hopefully, some of your booking calls. Otherwise, we will speak to you very soon. Dave, take care, my man. I'll speak to you tomorrow. Bye.